After years of teasing us with concept after concept, I'm at the 2016 Los Angeles Auto Show where Volkswagen has finally unveiled the production-ready Atlas. Let's take a first look. Now, as Volkswagen has mentioned year after year, the company is committed to the American market, and part of that commitment includes this vehicle, the introduction of a full-size 7-seat crossover SUV built alongside the Passat at the company's Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. Now, you can see the design of the Atlas certainly has the traditional Volkswagen look to it. It's very dramatic, it's very conservative, and it's also a little bit blocky and rugged looking at the same time. You can see the front has almost very similar design cues to the Passat with the traditional Volkswagen grille. These LED daytime running lights with full LED headlights are available, and the car has a very much SUV brutish-like look to it. Volkswagen wanted it to be a lot more rugged, a lot more American in its design. In fact, this is one of the most American vehicles the company has ever produced, with it designed specifically for the US market. Now, looking around the side profile, you can see it has that traditional SUV look with these large wheels, the very off-road or at least SUV truck tires on it. This particular one is riding on 20-inch wheels, which do fill out the wheel wells nicely with this particular black finish. Now, I want you to look at the profile of the Atlas because this is a big crossover, and Volkswagen says it's the largest crossover the company has ever built, even though it rides on a stretched MQB architecture, which is interesting. That's the same platform underneath the Golf, but Volkswagen has stretched this out to make it much larger. It's larger than a Honda Pilot. It's about the same size as a Ford Explorer. Now, with a vehicle this large, you're probably wondering what's powering this thing to move around all this weight. And Volkswagen will actually offer the Atlas with 2 engines at launch. This one is the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, a TSI direct injection, the same motor you find in a GTI. Now, in the Atlas, it makes 238 horsepower in this application and about 258 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you need more power, you can also get the VR6 from the Passat, a 3.6-liter. That makes 280 horsepower. It all runs through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy hasn't yet been announced, but don't expect to find a diesel engine option. Of course, Volkswagen is leaving that market. Towing hasn't really been announced yet. Volkswagen will have all that information as the vehicle becomes closer to its on-sale date. So at the rear of the Atlas, you can see a lot of traditional German Volkswagen design touches as well. It looks very similar to the Passat, which this vehicle is built alongside of. The same kind of very conservative taillights, LED accented. And you can see this particular one is the V6 4Motion model with all-wheel drive, of course. Front-wheel drive is standard if you guys don't go for an all-wheel drive version. Now, looking at the cargo area, I want to show you guys really quickly. First of all, this one obviously has a powered tailgate. Volkswagen says because it's the largest vehicle they've ever built, it's got one of the largest interiors they will offer. You can see the cargo capacity is actually pretty good. This is more than what I've seen in a Highlander, about the same as what you find in the Pilot and the Explorer. The third row, which I'll show you in a second, Volkswagen says is adult-friendly for those of you who are at least under 6 feet. But let's get inside. Let me show you the inside of this all-new Atlas SUV. So inside of the largest vehicle Volkswagen has ever offered, you can see the interior definitely has that open and airy feeling. It's got the traditional leather captain's chairs in the front. They are the traditional kind of Volkswagen feel with the leather. They're very comfortable and supportive. The step-in gives you that nice SUV step-in height that you're looking for. And the interior materials certainly look upscale. It's introducing a lot of new technology features for Volkswagen. So let me get inside the vehicle. This is my first time actually sitting in it. And a couple of things I'm definitely noticing, it's very, Audi-like in here. Volkswagen and Audi definitely will share some technology, and you feel that when you get inside this Atlas. A couple of new infotainment options here. First of all, the screen in the instrument cluster is a full 12-inch LCD display, kind of taking that a little bit from Audi's virtual cockpit, but without some of the beautiful graphics. It's kind of like a dumbed-down version. It looks very nice. It's definitely a step in the right direction for Volkswagen. And then, of course, looking at the infotainment system here, it's also a large touchscreen infotainment system, the latest version of Volkswagen's in-car connectivity. It does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That's something very important for buyers in this segment. And I really like the visibility in here. You have a very nice commanding view of the road. The seats feel nice and comfortable, and you sit up nice and high, and it feels relatively roomy, definitely on par with what you're going to get in most of the vehicles in this segment. Now, let me show you the third row really quick, because Volkswagen says that you can fit adults back in the third row. Now, first of all, I want to show you guys really quickly just how much space this vehicle offers to get to the third row. When you actually fold the seat back, the seat itself kind of like slides forward, and it gives you a lot of space here to get to the third row. Now, stepping back here, Now I'm pretty short, I'm 5'7". Volkswagen says that if you're over 6 feet, it's probably gonna be a little bit on the cramped side, but I really like the position of the bench, and there's plenty of leg room in here, and also you can take your pick between the captain's chairs like this one or an actual bench seat. So the Atlas is either a 6 or a 7-seater SUV, not an 8-seater like some of its competitors. Now, the Atlas will go on sale in a couple months with no pricing yet announced, but Volkswagen is confident that this will be very competitively priced. Now, if you look at the segment, it's between, in the low 30,000s to start to the mid 40,000 for a fully loaded model. So we'll know a little bit more of that once this vehicle gets closer to its on sale date. For Redline Reviews at the 2016 Los Angeles Auto Show, I'm Sophion Bay.